Today. It is your favorite time of the week. It's Star Trek Tuesday. Man, oh man, do we have a lot to talk with you about. First of all, Starfleet Academy news. Mr. Bob Picardo is in the news. We're going to talk about that, of course. Remember Eric's? He was an Idosian from the animated series. We're going to talk about that and why that's relevant. Also, happy anniversary to quite possibly the greatest Star Trek episode of all time. At least in my 15 seconds of looking on IMDb, it might be the highest rated IMDb episode ever. What it is, you'll have to guess in the live chat, because for now, we've got more pressing matters and more important matters. We've got the team from PanCan here today. They are Armin Shimerman, Kitty Swink, John Billingsley, Jonathan Frakes, and JC Juan Carlos Coto. How are you today?
Rand, thanks for having me.
Hey.
Thank you so much for having us.
Also, everybody, you know John Orkiel of Screen Rant, back of the head.
Hello, everybody. Amazing to see you.
Jenny R. Johnson, painter.
Well said, Ryan. Well said.
And of course, Melissa Longo.
Yay.
Hey, Melissa.
Nobody.
See your body. It's right there.
Is
My
it
name's
the
Ryan
trouble
T.
with
Huss.
tribbles?
Now you
He's still thinking, what's the episode?
led with that. Jonathan's just
I
going
hope
to be
it's sitting on the edge of
Is-
forever.
You'll find out in
Ah.
47 minutes.
Was
Please
it
tell me it's not.
boxes,
Tell me it's not inner light. I hope.
No.
That's,
You can let him
that's
off the
definitely
hook
a
there.
contender.
Yeah.
It's
I
definitely
believe
a
he's referring
contender.
to a Deep
a
Space
mock
Nine
time.
episode.
The mock time's a good one.
Jonathan.
Okay, so let's say hi to everybody in the live chat, and then we'll get started. Hello to Lucia out in Brazil. Faith Howell. Hello, Joshua Reeve. Redshirt Bob. That's Rookie of the Year. Redshirt Bob to you. Linda Anderegg, Fran Iverson, and Glenn Iverson. Joel, what's up? And Valasok. I know you told me how to pronounce that, and I don't remember. I'm so sorry. Mathieu Beauregard. I think that's got to be a Jenny R.
Hey.
pal, because
Yep.
that's Canadian.
He's in New Brunswick.
Also, Joshua Reeve, Bob D, Chuck A, Jonathan Davis of everybody knows Korn from Bakersfield, lead singer, and so on and so forth. We see all of you popping in now. Amanda Stevenson, Melissa H, Richard Thomas, Sarit. All right, while they're filing in, let's get started. First things first, pancan.org. That is the website. We'll be promoting that. Also, PurpleStride. Very important.
It's purplestride.org/Team Trek is the
Thank
the
God.
website. Just so.
And
He
this,
said-
ladies and gentlemen,
Awesome.
is why we love him.
I have one purpose here.
All right. This is the way I do it. I do pancan.org, and then I just go right over here and click on PurpleStride. That makes it so much easier for me because I like simplicity. And then I scroll down and I go to Team Trek. This is the big one. And these beautiful
steps,
faces.
Too many steps. Listen to what JC has to say.
Just type in purplestride.org/Team Trek.
I think, Ryan, you've got your finger on the pulse. I like
Thank
that's
you.
how I do it too.
So I would love to start off
And I
with
do it.
Kitty and Armin telling us where'd this all come from. I feel like you have this beautiful origin story that we all need to know about. And could you share it with us, please?
Kitty, take it away. It's your story.
So how far back do you want me to go? How we started Team Trek? Here we go.
Middle school.
Well, I think he wants you to go back 21 years.
Yeah.
Okay, 21 years ago, I was a little over 21 years ago, I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I had a Whipple surgery. I count the day of my
What's a Whipple, Kitty? What's a
A
Whipple?
Whipple. I was going there. I really was.
Oh my God!
Whipple, they took out half my stomach,
Just
half
so
my
used to
pancreas,
directing
my
her. That's all.
my gallbladder, a couple of feet of my intestines, and 28 lymph nodes. And 17 days later, I came out of the hospital, and here I am, still alive. Which at that time I had a 3 to 4% chance of surviving 5 years, and here I am, 21 years later. And so I am devoted to the idea of making sure that there are other people who are survivors like I am, as are all the people on Team Trek. It's really quite wonderful. And how I came to PanCan in the first place is Charlotte Rae, who was, people probably know her from all of her television series, but I think of her as a great Broadway diva and great musical comedy diva. But she was my grandmother, sort of. She wasn't really my grandmother, but she was my grandmother emotionally. And she had pancreatic cancer, and I helped get her through it. And then we started going to PanCan events together. And when she passed away, and I was speaking at her funeral, Pam Marquardt came up to me and talked to me. Pam is the founder of PanCan. And then during the pandemic, she reached out to me and said, will you become a spokesperson for us, an ambassador? And I said, I have a better idea. I think we have the power of Star Trek. We have Armin. And at that time, I knew Jonathan would be somebody I would go to because he had lost his brother. And we went and we spoke to Jonathan, and he immediately said yes. And from there, Armin?
And from there, we took on all these other wonderful people who also have connections to PanCan. Each of them will tell you exactly what their connection is. It is my life's goal to save as many people as possible. I was lucky enough to have a wife who survived. The survival rate was, as Kitty told you, 3 to 4% at the time. It's now up to 13%. So that's quadruple the survivability rate, but it's not good enough. 13% is not good enough. We want more people to survive. We don't want the stories that these guys are about to tell you about their relatives.
Mhm.
I'll take it. My wonderful brother, Daniel Frakes, who was actually the cute one of the family, died of pancreatic cancer when he was 41. He turned yellow. We took him to a hospital in Philadelphia. They performed the Whipple, which is the traditional surgery that they go in and take a look. And they looked and they said, sorry, it's much too far along. There's nothing we can do. They closed him up and they said he may live for the next 6 months. So he died 5 months later. And it was, it affected our family in a way that was never, my father never really recovered. My mom and I mourned, and my mom lived to be 94. And we still talked about Daniel ad nauseum, probably. At the going away party for Marina Sirtis, my TV wife, Kitty came to me and asked me if I'd join this group. And I had been involved with charities, and I've always been, I pride myself in being helpful. But this was so personal and it's been so great. And now we have expanded to this team, as you see. So for the last 5 years, I look forward to this time of year because not only am I competitive, and we all try to raise a lot of money. Once we got JC, he joined us last year, and he was the biggest fundraiser in the history of our team. Not to take anything away from our next guest, Mr. John Billingsley, who, among other things, has more books than anyone else on our team.
Oh.
I didn't know how far
any of them. He hasn't read any of them.
There's
one of them
is really good, and I just keep reading it over and over. Stuart Little, if any of you have ever read Stuart
I love that.
the Marvel,
Captivating.
I've only seen the movie.
Yes, my mother passed away from pancreatic cancer in 1990 at the age of 70, and similarly from diagnosis to death 3 months. She didn't even have a Whipple by the time they figured out what it was through a series of protracted tests because there was no urgency. It was, maybe come back in 2 weeks, we'll look at this. By the time they found it, there was no question that she had a limited amount of time. And one of the things that I've seen change, and one of the reasons I so appreciate this organization, is because they have so raised awareness of what this disease is about and what the symptoms are that people like my mother, who had no cognizance that it could be something as serious as pancreatic cancer, she had back pains, she had stomach aches, might now think, I'd better, and the doctors might now think, we'd better. That's a sea change. And I want to throw one thing out before handing it to Juan Carlos. I love all these people. I couldn't be happier that Kitty and Armin asked me to be part of this. The reason that the survival rate at 13% may not seem as robust, but is still amazing, is because more people are dying of pancreatic cancer, because more people are being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, because more people are actually thinking, gee, I wonder if I got pancreatic cancer. And the doctors are now diagnosing it correctly in ways that they were not some years back. So that statistic is actually really quite impressive when you consider it is a fast growing cancer, because more people are going, oh shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For Manny, it was in 2022 in May. He was super thirsty, couldn't quench his thirst. And his wife told him, you know, that's a symptom of diabetes. You should check that out. And he started to look at it. It turned out that he had sudden onset diabetes. He got jaundice. He turned yellow. The physician he went to had the presence of mind, very much because of what John is talking about, to take a further look, and they realized that he had a tumor in the duct of his pancreas that was blocking the insulin, which is what was giving him diabetes. So, you know, pancreatic cancer will often show up not only as a pain in your back or indigestion, but it also can be a sudden onset diabetes. So he was diagnosed in June of 2022 and passed away in July of 2023. He did 2 rounds of chemo and a round of radiation. It was sort of all set for a Whipple, but much like Daniel, it had spread too far, so they didn't go through the surgery, and in July he passed. But as many of you know, he ran Star Trek Enterprise in its final season and was a lifelong Trek fan, and really was my inspiration on a lot of levels. He was my older brother, and you know, I started out as a PA on his Super 8 movies. You know, he
Wow.
stole Dad's Super 8 camera on vacations and started making films, and you know, we were all inspired by Spielberg and everything else. And so I started making Super 8s and followed him out to Hollywood. And so, you know, I kind of owed him everything. And when he passed, I found out about the Star Trek family through PanCan and reached out, and they reached out to me. And, you know, I was obviously happy to join the team because of the work they had already done and the work they've been doing. And I just think that the trek of it all is part of what inspires me, and obviously inspired Manny. It was literally the first television show he ever fell in love with, and it was a lifelong dream to work on it when he finally did.
Really?
So that spirit of hope for mankind and hope for the future and belief in science is something that Manny lived by, and that PanCan lives by.
And
Wow.
Ryan, with your permission, let me add a little to what these incredible stories. One of the things, the reason why we're asking people to donate, besides being competitive, as Jonathan says, it's the fact that the federal government has now gotten rid of funding for the one organization that does research into pancreatic cancer. So we can't rely on federal funding anymore. We have to reach out to the public and say, please help us. Please step in where the government has now stepped out. We need this research. We need these stories that you just heard to stop. It shouldn't happen anymore. We need to, what they don't have yet is a cure. The Whipple can save your life, but it would be so nice if we could inject you with something and stop this. More importantly than a cure, perhaps as important, perhaps not more important, is there is no marker that tells us immediately this is pancreatic cancer. We need to discover that marker. It's the same thing for other diseases. You take a test, you find out, oh my God, I've got the measles, I've got tuberculosis, I've got whatever. We don't have that yet, and only research and science and donations from people who are willing to support our cause will make that happen. So please make it so.
And tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I mean, look, and there's the whole other level is PanCan itself, right? Sorry, Katie, if you want to go ahead.
Oh, no, that's tomorrow morning, starting at 9 o'clock, there's a matching, there's a $100,000 match. If you donate up to $250, that person will double it until that $100,000 is gone. So if you want to join our team and double your $5, your $10, or your $250, you better believe Armin and I are both going to give more $250 more in the morning.
Wow.
That every time.
I mean, And I kind of wanted to also talk about the Action in Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, right? It's not just about research and a cure, and markers obviously hugely important, but they have, caseworkers so that if you or a family member is diagnosed, you call them right away and they will help you find a doctor to give you a second opinion. They'll educate your doctor more on what they need to know. They'll provide somebody to be with you every step of the way in the process, which is, I can tell you, is invaluable. So it is really about action and the action that they take that we're finding.
I think it's especially important if you've been given a diagnosis that is not at all hopeful. If you've been told, as many are, that's
as Kitty was told,
as Kitty was, and as Armin always says, the second opinion that PanCan will provide you with an oncologist. I mean, there are wonderful oncologists out there, but there'll be oncologists that are actually able to diagnose, trained in the detection of pancreatic cancer, and they have a list of that. They'll also provide a case manager for you to help you through this entire process, and the people who are family members and loved ones who have been affected by this. There are people like Kitty and others who will comfort you and provide information, and it's an incredible organization at a lot of levels.
Yeah. This is unbelievable, and I just want to point out, everybody at home, check this out. Have you seen this page before? If you have, it means you've donated. Please do it again. If you haven't, do it right now, as I just did. But now I'm being told
tomorrow. Do it tomorrow.
So now,
I am.
So now that you said
put it on your calendar.
Just did this like 10 minutes ago. Now
tomorrow we'll get twice as much money that way.
Yes.
Now that you said that, tomorrow I'm going to donate as well, which will actually triple then how much as today,
Ryan,
tomorrow, and the
thank
double.
you.
That's
So
unless the nature of your specific character flaw is that if you don't do it now, you're not going to fucking do it at all. In which case, just do it now.
At least I'll make sure about that.
I can't speak to the character flaws of all your listeners. So,
so everybody at home, we've put the link in the description box below as well as in the comments. Click on it, make a donation right now, because that email that they send you as a confirmation will be your reminder to donate tomorrow, and that will then triple the amount, and these guys are going to blow everybody out of the water with their numbers.
PurpleStride.org/Team Trek.
Can we also
Nailed it.
Can we
Nailed
talk
it.
about PurpleStride
Riker maneuver.
the day and what the day signifies, and how
Jackie Robinson Day.
Yes, it is Jackie
Wow,
Robinson
very
Day.
nice.
Right.
Anybody who's taken
Awesome.
the doctor, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't start for a little while. PurpleStride itself, the day, which is April 26th. Yes.
April 26th.
Saturday.
60 cities,
One
60
thing
communities around the country.
Thank you. Yes. And you can join our group if you happen to be in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if everybody in our group is going to be in our group, but I'll be there. Kitty will be there. I think. Juan Carlos, you'll be there, right?
I will be there.
You're going to be in
McAllen, Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Sounds nice.
I don't know.
For my sins.
Yeah.
Armin's going to be in Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville, Alabama, at a book fair, signing books.
Awesome.
But join us in Los Angeles, or look and see if there are communities near you where you can walk and bring your friends to walk. And your friends can also, if you have like super ambition and you not only want to support our team, but you want to join our team as a fundraiser, you can do that. Can't you, Kitty?
Yes, they can. They can. And even you can start a subgroup
sub-commander
in your hometown. You can have your own Star Trek group underneath us and have your own little team. Mark Sickle has a team going. There's teams going all over the country that are attached to us. It's fantastic.
That's
Right when I was just donating, it asked me, it said,
fantastic.
who do you want to donate to specifically or just in general? And I was going to, but then I chickened out. I was afraid the other 4 members would find out and get mad at me. So I just picked the whole group. But you can there's like a drop-down box with like 20 or 30 people. It's amazing.
Yep.
I recommend highly donate to Kitty.
Donate to Kitty.
Yes.
That's who I was going to do, but I got scared.
Or
Kitty is the embodiment of our hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
and an
John-
incredible
True.
human being.
Mhm.
It's also you
Yes.
want to donate to Jonathan because it feeds his insatiable lust for victory. You can do that.
I'd almost forgotten.
And by the way, even if you don't donate by April the 26th, you can still donate after that.
That's
There's
right.
Still, it may not go directly to this year's fundraising, but it will go to next year's. Even if you miss the 26th deadline, donate anyway. Donate in June. Donate in July. Donate every month. Why not?
Yeah.
You can
And if you
be-
don't have anything to donate, just spread the word.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell your friends. Go on social. Tell people
Yeah.
about PanCan.
Which is what we're
Yeah.
doing now, telling our friends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Donate, make my brown eyes blue. Wait, donate.
Nice.
Purple.
John Orchiola
Green.
of Screen Rant, do you have any questions for these fine people? You
Well, I
look
mean-
like you're ready for one.
Well, no, I mean, first,
Is it Best of Both Worlds Part 1?
That's
God.
an excellent guess.
God.
Part
But
2.
No, part 1 for sure would be better than
Mhm.
part 2, I think.
Let
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
Far beyond the stars. Far beyond the stars.
Mm.
Close.
No,
First contact.
close.
My favorite.
No.
John, we're sorry. We're unruly.
Oh no, not at all. No, I got this shirt because I walked the PurpleStride last year. I'm going to
Yeah.
join again this year.
Good.
It was such an amazing event. Fantastic morning in Santa Monica. And also an amazing cause. So I'm really looking forward to joining you guys again on the 26th. And I also I spoke to Jonathan last year. I spoke to John. I think I spoke to Armin too about PanCan. And one of the things I learned was that PanCan's network also helps with the families, not just the victims, but support for the families, which I think is so important. It's one of the things I was really so motivated about in terms of this organization and helping out. So it's weird because I also don't want to distract from the cause and the event, but can we talk a little bit about Star Trek?
Before you do, John, let me just piggyback on something you
we're
said,
here.
and then you can ask as many
Sure.
questions about Star Trek.
Of course.
Speaking as the caregiver in this particular incident, caregivers are under as much pressure as the patient.
Mhm.
The patient, as he often says,
Sure.
only has to take one step at a time for their getting better. But the caregiver is there to field all the questions, to hold the hands, to give the medication. That's why what you just said, John, is enormously important. They're there not only for the patient, they're also there for the friends and family who support the
Mhm.
patient.
Well
True.
said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
want to say one last thing before you start talking about Star Trek, because I know you won't have any Star Trek questions for me, so this will be the last time I speak.
Oh my God.
Oh, right. Phil Phlox.
You know what? I
Tired.
just say
That
this is a
tired
rise. I
photo
get a rise out of
self-effacing.
John Frakes every
Oh my
time.
Fishing for compliments.
He does not like
It's so pathetic.
no,
It's pathetic.
Although
You're a grown
Picardo
man.
was a pretty good doctor. He was a pretty good doctor, Picardo. I
anyway.
mean, it was very convincing.
Now I forgot.
Sorry.
Completely
Oh.
right out of my head.
Past tense.
No.
That's a good
No.
one too.
Nice.
That's
I'm
what
so
we are.
sorry.
We're all
It has to
past
be
tense.
sitting on the
We're
edge
all
forever.
past tense.
You said it's the highest rated or the favorite?
Highest rated.
I
Highest
believe it
rated.
might be the highest rated, and it's certainly considered one of the greatest
This
episodes.
is a poll online. I mean, can I tell you my Bob Picardo story? Bob Picardo
Yes.
emailed me one time. He said, "Hey, I just
I
wanted to let you
opened,
know
I opened the can
saw
of peas.
I saw a poll online. I was voted the most popular Star Trek doctor, and you're voted number 8, below Diana Muldaur. Love you, Bob." Now I know
What?
that push poll conducted amongst the members of his family. There he is, that son of a bitch. So we have to take these polls and surveys and what have you with a grain of salt. I'm just saying.
Good point.
I
Right,
want to
I
know
get
who
it.
their favorite
get it.
bartender is. That's all I want to know. Okay.
Whoopee.
Okay, yeah, probably right.
Well,
Are you going to tell us the Bob Picardo news now, Ryan, or not?
No, we have-
Comes later.
I just fucking asked. Back up.
After we leave, Jonathan. After we
Oh
leave.
my God.
I don't want to hear another word about Bob Picardo. God
Bob
damn it.
Picardo's in the news, everybody.
brought him up.
Starfleet Academy.
And this is what our meetings are like. I'm just
Oh
saying.
my God.
Except
I
there's
can
biscuits.
imagine.
Well,
Uh,
Bob
Delightful
Picardo
biscuits.
news was taken from Truck Talks, so
Oh, what?
there's a
Hey,
tie.
that's something.
I take it all back. I love Bob Picardo. He was very gracious. He brought Kate Mulgrew on. They had a lovely 45-minute long conversation, unfiltered, unmoderated. Couldn't have been sweeter. Kate donated some books to the cause, and
Lovely.
yes, couldn't have been more gracious. I love
Beautiful.
Bob. I just like to give him shit. Well,
The truth comes out.
yeah, when he's not around, I would never say that to his face. I would
Mhm.
never.
Back of the head, John Orchiola, what have you got for us? You got something, right?
Well, the funny thing is, I really was actually going to ask John about Bob Picardo, but he just completely he took over. I really was going to ask, but John, I love Trek Talks 4. I was glued to my YouTube the entire day. So congrats on raising, what was it, $80,000? What was the total?
You can never be entirely sure because donations do come in after the fact. But yes, I think somewhere around 85,000.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. No, it's
It
been
was
great.
it was a challenging day for fundraising too, because there were all the protests all over the country.
Mhm.
with
We
millions
chose
of
it
people.
because it was first contact day, and
Right.
we initially scheduled it for January, and the fires, of course. So we thought first contact day, little knowing that it was also Go Out and Save Democracy Day, and it was also your 401k has gone down the flusher day. So it was a all
It's a real roller coaster.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were happy to have made close to what we had aimed for. So.
Now, you guys, I do want to point out very quickly that we have royalty right now in the live chat. Yes, actual
Queen Latifah?
royalty. Close.
Queen Latifah.
Star Trek is here, you guys. Actual Star Trek. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
We're all
Wow.
here for you, Star Trek. I'm your biggest
Amazing.
fan. Thank you.
Thank you
All
for
the
my
way from
house. Star Trek. Thank you
1966.
for my house, Star Trek.
Yeah.
I love when
Me
Star
too.
Trek pops into the chat and kicks
Mine
down the
too.
door like the Kool-Aid man.
Doesn't Star Trek owe you guys some residuals now? Like
Something.
They get smaller, John. They get smaller as the years go by.
I got one for
Now-
75 cents a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you got
And
a
I
big one.
couldn't even deposit it online because I guess it has to be at least $1.
Wow.
So it
amazing.
rejected it, and now I just have a piece of paper.
You can take it to residuals and get a drink with that.
No,
Not
they
anymore.
closed.
Not anymore, John.
There's too many of them. They couldn't
Yeah,
afford
they
it.
don't do it anymore.
If you fold it and put it under your drink, it soaks up the condensation from the glass like really
See,
well.
that's nice.
It's good for that. Yeah, it keeps your tables,
I got one for negative a penny,
Me
which
too.
I thought was, do I have to send Paramount a penny?
Yeah, hand delivered.
I feel
the
like
Dominion requires
That's
payment.
from the Redstone made his billions. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like
Well,
Reese,
you get it from the fountain?
you were gonna
Superman
say
3,
something.
He just like took a little penny from.
John, did you have a second
checks.
question besides the one that we skipped over?
About
I
the
have-
other doctor.
I don't think that's a question. That was just a
Besides
comment.
the one we answered so brilliantly.
So far, I don't think we've actually heard a question.
No, I'm with you, John. I didn't hear a question.
No, I haven't asked one.
No, we haven't. Yeah.
Go, John.
No,
Our goal
Well,
is to
well,
stop you from asking a question. In fact, and so
I
far,
actually
we're
wanted
fucking good.
well before Star Trek, I actually wanted to ask Armin and Kitty about Twelfth Night. I know you directed Twelfth
Oh.
Night a couple of months
Cool.
ago.
Spectacular.
What was that experience like?
I had to twist my wife's arm for her to do it, but she eventually actually came away thinking it was one of the best experiences she ever had. You'll have to ask Jonathan Frakes a little about it more than
And
'cause
John
he was-
Billingsley. They both
and John
said.
Billingsley. Forgive me, both Johns, because they saw it. I have a lot of baggage because I directed it, and Kitty has a lot of baggage because she was in it. And she, by the way, was brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. And
Probably the best thing in the show.
thank you.
No.
Particularly, no, I think maybe the best thing in the show, especially the second character with the mustache.
Yes. I I came back as I went back and forth between Mariah and Fabian, and everybody loved Wednesday.
Fantastic.
And
Everybody loved Fabian.
I just want to say something that's sort of like not serious, but exactly, but what Armin might not say is that his vision for the show was, what if it's last love, not first love?
Yeah.
So he put a whole lovely spin on the show that you're never going to see in another version of
Oh,
12.
wow.
So it was about people who late in the day are finding their inner adolescent because they have fallen in love again. And it made it a very fresh and sparkling revival of a play that you've probably seen many times before. And it really put a wonderful
And
spin.
I thought the music added an incredible element to the show, the songs and the performer. Whose name eludes me at this point. It was
there's a great deal of music in the play that Shakespeare put into the play that's usually skipped over. And as Tom said, I wanted to focus on the music, and I had a great composer who was also one of the actors in the show. It was a terrific experience for me. Also, one of the things that goes by, people don't notice it, but I focused on it, which is that I believe it's probably one of the clearest Shakespearean production anyone has ever seen, because one of the things we focused on was making sure that the audience understand. I get agita every time people say, "Oh, I don't understand Shakespeare. It's too difficult for me," or "the language is old," or whatever the canard is. But it's my opinion that you can make Shakespeare just as easily understandable as Next Generation.
It was so successful, in fact, that next year they are doing 13th Night, which
Sorry, what's a canard?
excellent use of the word.
It's a duck in French. It's the French word for duck.
Excellent use of the word
right.
canard.
Canard is a duck in French, yes.
Oh, I thought it was a Cardassian beverage.
Nice.
Oh,
I thought it was a cruise line.
The stage manager on closing gave us
cruise
all a
line.
list of famous quotes that happened during rehearsal, and one of them was, "So Rob, when you're kissing my wife, ...
All right, so everybody in the live chat, we are seeing some people that are saying they have donated, and others that are saying
Awesome.
they're
Thank you,
donating tomorrow.
thank you.
And some that are saying I donated today and also going to donate
Yay!
tomorrow.
Nice.
Some are saying that just to spite Billingsley because they said I will not forget. That's what they said.
maybe that was a strategy of mine. If you
As-
really
as-
want to
Seriously, is
Billingsley,
it 9 a.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. Eastern? Do we know?
What?
Probably
the 9 a.m. start
9
tomorrow.
a.m. Pacific, I think.
Okay, great.
But I will look it up. I'll make sure right now.
I was just curious, because I
if you
forgot.
want to show Billingsley a thing or two, donate the next day too. That'll teach that son of a bitch.
Teach him a lesson he'll
Yeah,
never
man.
forget.
if I may, as a student of the rules of acquisition, if you contribute today and tomorrow, I believe that's the 7th rule.
Keep your ears open.
Oh,
Let's
That
keep
works.
your ears open.
I'll go for that.
Hutch, you are on fire today.
Hey, speaking of the 7th rule, do you guys want to see a secret that I teased earlier? It's not really related to PanCan. It's not really related to anything here, but I think it's something that people might get a kick out of. There's a gentleman by the name of Vernon Smith. He's a world-renowned comic book artist. He works for Star Trek and illustrates Star Trek comic books. Well, a few days ago, he emailed me with a gift. And I was like, well, what's this fun thing? Because I have no artistic talent, so I get really excited when other people do. And I'd like to point out this fun thing only as an appetizer to the other fun thing. So he heard in one of our shows that we wanted to be action figures. We were never that. Sirach's been an action figure, of course. But so he sends me this. He says, I can't make action figures,
Oh my God.
but I can do a comic
That's awesome.
strip
love
of comic.
that.
Stand, the classic stand. That's amazing.
Right.
Now
And it
that's
says
great. Elbows.
earbuds, podcast, fancy cheese set. You know, it looks like
Fancy
one of those
cheese
old.
Now,
Are
Ryan,
you,
Ryan, you have to
Fantastic.
tip it up so that we can see the bottom of your shoes and see the number at the bottom of your shoes.
Exactly.
So that we'll know how valuable this particular action figure is.
That's a good point. But you know, that's the prelude to this one.
Yay!
Wow.
Now, my
Awesome.
favorite detail that this gentleman did was
Uh-huh.
the
The ceiling
plastic
fan?
here had to be added up higher
Oh,
because
that's
of how
amazing.
tall he is.
To accommodate his lid.
That's
Mhm.
great.
What a brilliant.
And his incredible height.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway during the
Jump
show,
distance.
Srock became the tallest person on the set.
Right.
Hilarious.
As
That's
opposed
awesome.
to Aaron. As opposed to Aaron.
Right.
Hey Ryan, what do you have an
Yeah.
interesting relationship with cheese that you would like to share with us? I would be curious.
Well, not quite as interesting as Porthos, but I do
Hmm.
enjoy eating it.
Yeah.
But I also want to suggest that everybody try vegan cheese out there.
Mhm.
Go to rebelcheese.com. It's women owned and run, and it's vegan cheese. You'll be supporting a good cause. But also,
Don't go to Empire Cheese. Go to Rebel Cheese.
good
Nice.
Star Wars knowledge. Very nice.
Very good.
Nice.
It was cheap. I liked
I'm
it.
trying over here. I can't keep up with Armin
Yeah.
or Billingsley.
Can I just point out one thing about Armin, by the way? I
What?
truly believe that Armin is one of the nicest people I've ever met because not just of how nice he is when he's in my presence, but anytime I see him on any show or any story I hear about him, and I'm sure Kitty can back this up and anybody can, but Armin, I just want to say I really appreciate you. Even when you're just on this show and you're trying to convince people to open up their wallet to donate a little bit more, the passion with which you speak, you've got a heart of gold. And I just want to say that the world is a better place because you're in it.
Thank you, Ryan.
True.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. That's very sweet. I'm not lying to you by telling you actually the tears are welling up in my eyes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. They're kind of welling up in my eyes when I was saying it. I didn't know I was going to say that, but honestly, Armin, you're a gem. Everybody here is an absolute gem, but I just wanted everybody that's never had the chance to meet Armin to know if you see him at a convention, rush his table. Go say hi to him.
You know, if I may very quickly, one of the things that I've fought for 25 years is to try to convince people I'm not Quark.
Far from it.
Years and years ago, we were at a convention in Melbourne, Australia, and somebody asked him a question, and he said, "Well, I'm a feminist," and they booed him. Literally, they booed.
Wow.
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 No, you can't
Was it
be a
Billingsley?
No, no,
feminist. It's like 30 years. 20,
my wife is
Yeah,
trying to
Billingsley
convince
was in the
people.
back. I was the best doctor.
My wife is trying to convince people that I am not polyamorous the way my character is.
Is she succeeding?
Is she telling your girlfriends that? Is I think that's her question. Okay. Well, Melissa, I think you had a question you tried to ask about 20 minutes ago. I don't know if you still remember it, but okay.
Oh yeah, no, it was a silly thing. I was gonna say I really hope that we see Queen Latifah in the chat. That would be fantastic. This chat
That would be royalty.
guest. That would be royalty.
All right. Well, we only have you fine folk for just a few more minutes. So if any of you would like to just reiterate everything that we've talked about today and encourage people to donate, why they're donating, and the importance of tomorrow for anybody that's showing up late.
Ryan, would you show that green again? Because I thought that was beautiful and compelling visual evidence that shows that we're not just fabricating this, but that it actually exists as a place to go.
Show them how to tap dance all the way over to.
Look at this. There it is.
PurpleStride.
PurpleStride.org /Team Trek.
Just type in the easiest way. I mean, we have the links in the description box here, so you can click those. That's the easiest way. Otherwise, if you just go by memory, pancan.org, you click on PurpleStride or just click on donate now. That's a fun one.
Backslash.
Backslash.
Team Trek.
Let's look at our team. I want to look at our team.
Ooh, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah,
I just joined your team right before
Look at that.
this. So
there's our team. Look at all the people on our team. See, you can join
that.
and be a member of our team.
That's
And you
awesome.
can
Yeah.
raise
I think
money
they're
for our team.
How do I see the rest of the team?
There's a little arrow down there.
Arrow right down there.
Yeah, and then it'll just take you to the next page.
Expand the list.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
There's John Orchiola. There's our guy right there.
There he is.
All right.
This is Team John right here.
Awesome.
Look at
Melissa.
that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
A lot of great names here. A lot
What
of
a
great names.
crew.
And more than just great names, great people. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for everyone who's joined us
Yeah.
along the way.
And
Yeah.
to
I
reiterate,
really just I just want to say how grateful I am to the whole community, not only for what they meant to Manny, but to his family after and before. You know, he left behind 4 kids. His oldest, little Manny's 16, and 13-year-old daughter and 11-year-old twins. So then they'll be at the walk as well. And the love and the support of the community really means a lot to them. And Trek is, you know, sort of a big part of their lives. A lot of his memorabilia is obviously still there, and it's all around the house. And
if you
I just want to say I'm grateful.
If you get to an event, it is a celebration. It is a wonderful, wonderful celebration.
And there are 60 opportunities around this great country of ours to join us on the 26th of April for PurpleStride.org/Team Trek.
And if you want to donate tomorrow at 9
If you want to
a.m.
know if there's a march near
thereafter.
you, not everybody lives in Los Angeles. If you want to know if there's a march near you, go to pancan.org and it'll tell you where the purple, or maybe it's at PurpleStride.org. And it'll give you a list of all the cities and where you go and what time it starts. There may indeed be a march near you. It would be great if you went and marched with the people, as everyone's just told you. It's a great celebration. It's a great celebration.
Yeah, it's really joyous. It's really joyous.
Yeah. And I was looking at the website and it said that if you don't see a march near you, there's a link where you can actually create an event. So you can join a team and create an event to.
That's great.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
That's
nice.
Thank you for that, Melissa. We've been on a couple of these chats and we never knew that. That's something we should tell people.
That's great.
Absolutely. That's brilliant.
Awesome.
All right. Mr. Jonathan Frakes, before you go, the answer to the trivia question
is
it's an episode that everybody loves. And I thought, you know what? I'll just bet Jenny R. Johnson has a painting about this episode. I went on her website, jennyrjohnson.com, and I found exactly what I was looking for. Here it is. I hope it's the right one. I'm sure it's the right one.
It is the right one.
In the Pale Moonlight, Deep Space Nine, the episode that created the greatest meme in the history of memes, which is this one here.
It's a fake.
It's a fake.
All right.
Before you go, we have to acknowledge Aaron Eisenberg, who had a great deal to do with that episode.
Yes. Love that guy. The greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, Jonathan.
And he had a lot of. Oh, sorry. I was trying to say.
Before you go, I want to know: are you directing Strange New World season 4? Are you going to be back for the new season?
TBD. I do have a great episode coming up, dropping in August, I believe, on Strange New World.
Oh, the murder mystery. That looks fantastic.
Starfleet Academy. First half of the finale is now almost in the hands of the producers. We're in the middle of the producer's cut.
You said that last week.
Yeah, it's all good.
Just really
Melissa, final word to you. What were you going to say about Aaron?
Oh, yeah. He would have reiterated what Ryan said about Armin.
Oh, yeah.
He adored you, Armin, so much. And he often talked about the ambassador that you were on Deep Space Nine. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We all miss him. We all miss him a great deal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, Armin, Kitty, Mr. Frakes, Juan Carlos, JC, Mr. Billingsley, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You've got a nice lunch
break. Thank you, guys.
Have some pizza, have some fun. Everybody at home, they'll be on the Sci-Fi Sisters in like 50 minutes. So go find the Sci-Fi Sisters. As soon as our show ends, we'll remind you when we're ending. You're going to see these beautiful faces. They're going to crack you up.
I want to know the news about Sirach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
right.
think I think that was it.
Yeah.
That was the action figure.
Oh, the action figure.
That was the action figure.
Any other news about Sirach will have to remain untold.
I have some news about Sirach.
I have to go eat a chicken sandwich before the next event.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave.
I have the great privilege
Enjoy.
of watching all the episodes of our show over again, and I have come to the realization that the very best actor on our show
Wow.
was Sirach Loft.
Oh,
Yeah.
Have you told him
not
this yet?
hyperbole. That's not hyperbole. I'm watching he was 14, 16, 18 when I was working with him. I sort of didn't pay as much attention to him as I should have when I was watching the shows. I am now agog at his acting work. It is extraordinary.
Wow. That's great.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's great.
I hope
That's
he knows
fantastic.
this. I mean, I
have
can vouch
told him,
for it.
I think he just sort of sloughed it off. But I'm watching these episodes, and the ones where he's featured,
Mhm.
extraordinary work, ease,
Mhm.
patience. The
Mhm.
very thing that Jonathan has learned over the years to do. He does it too now, but it took him a couple of years to learn. Sirach had it off the top, which is the ease, the no pressure, no tension, no stress whatsoever, and he means what he says. Jonathan
Mhm.
does that too. He just says the words, and they're real, and they're coming from someplace deep. And he's 16, he's 17, he's 18 years old.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Wow.
Wow.
Natural.
Amazing.
that's fantastic. He was surrounded by wonderful influences on that show.
He was.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to be surrounded; it's another one to do it yourself.
Yeah, to let it go. Yep, good point.
And he shows us all up.
Wow.
He shows us all up.
That's beautiful. I can't wait for him to see this.
Right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's the best actor I know. Every time I say a dumb joke, he gives me a polite chuckle, which is pretty good. Good. Very
Well,
convincing.
he's worked with Avery, so he knows how to do that.
Oh, Armin. See, he's not really the nicest person you know.
It's a good.
One
That's
of.
called a good-natured ribbing. It's a good-natured ribbing.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
I know you have to
I'm
hop
outta
off,
here.
but we really appreciate your
guys.
time. We
Bye,
love you
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
you.
you so much,
you.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you
care.
all.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
All right. So, bye, Kitty.
Bye, Kitty.
I feel so lonely in here all of a
I
sudden.
know.
Thank goodness nobody else is leaving. Oh wait, John, you have to go
Those
too.
people.
That was special.
Yeah, that was
special.
amazing. That was
Well,
that was
John,
really, really
we
great.
expect 7 very nice write-ups on this
Mhm.
live
Mhm.
show and PanCan and
All
season
of them
4 of
about
Strange
your
New
action
Worlds.
figure.
I mean, that last bit about Sirach, that's like a whole article right there.
That was
Right?
the first article.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. You can't
All right,
plan for these
everybody.
unexpected moments.
His name
yeah.
is John Orchiola. You know him as Back of the Head in the live chat. He's the head of the Star Trek division of Screen Rant, so go check out his articles. Mr. Orchiola, we'll see you next time. See you at Universal.
Yeah, see you guys. Bye.
All right. Well, that was fun.
That was amazing.
How's the live chat doing? Oh, they're all gone. Oh, well. Just kidding. They're hanging out. They want to hear more news.
Mhm.
Lucia
Said,
Raz
"Bye,
out
Brady
in Brazil. She says, we are still here.
Yes.
Meg Dramada says that was lovely. Bob D says, on to Star Trek 4 news.
Joshua Reed says, did Frakes say August for Strange New Worlds? To which I say,
Good thing.
did he?
Good thing.
Huh.
Good thing this isn't
Well,
live. We'll edit
Yeah,
that out.
I did catch that.
His
I d-
specific episode.
Right.
Yes. Which also is, anyway, yeah. Sorry, I
Is
just
this
was like,
code?
oh, no,
This
no,
is
no. I was
code
just,
for cut this part out. in
I
the
just
edit.
noticed I was shiny. I was like, oh God, woo, shiny. But yes, this is NDA code.
That's my favorite shirt of Jonathan's is he says, "Don't ask me, I
Yeah.
signed an NDA." That's glorious. All right. Trexperts quiz says, still here.
Yeah.
Joel says, bye, back of the head. Chuck A says, Sirach is so great to talk to on the free-for-alls. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to talk about the news or what?
Sure.
I feel like we just made news with those awesome people, but
I
now
know,
we can
right?
talk about more news.
Sure.
That
Well,
was-
piggybacking off of that, that wonderfulness that just occurred.
That was almost a word.
Yeah. I was looking for what so I did sign up to join the team to
Yeah.
walk on the 26th just before the live show. And my goal, and I posted it on Facebook, my goal is $325, and I'm at $301 so far.
Wow, $325,000. Awesome.
No,
This-
so thanks to everyone who has already donated. That's so awesome of you. And if you want to donate tomorrow morning, trek to against
Wait,
pancreatic cancer.
this is important.
Exactly.
You only need $24 to reach your goal. We're putting the link in the live chat right now. You guys go right now. Click it. You're on the donate page. This is the donate page. It says select a team member to donate to. Okay. Right now it's a race. Who's going to put Melissa over the edge here? That link takes you to this page. You skip past all these awesome Star Trek actors. Whoa, look, she's right at the top, actually. You do that.
Uh-oh.
You hit next, and you go for it. Don't chicken out. Don't do what I did. When I clicked on make a general donation to the team, I was going to do Kitty, but I was like, oh, they're going to find out. They're going to be so mad at me that like, I panicked, and I just did the general thing. But don't panic. All right.
Don't panic.
And I
So-
donated 2 earlier, but before I realized that it will be doubled tomorrow morning. So I'm going to donate again tomorrow morning so that it's doubled.
Awesome.
That's 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Mhm.
Noon
Eastern,
and 1 p.m. Atlantic, folks.
Look at this, Melissa. Ta-da! Melissa Longo, 353. Just like that. The magic of Wi-Fi.
That's so awesome. Thanks, guys. That's so great.
Beautiful. All right. Keep donating, everybody. This is great. This is
Yeah.
important. I love those people because they completely mean what they say. I
Mhm.
cannot imagine losing my only brother at a relatively young age and just having to live the rest of my life without my only sibling. That just sounds like the worst possible thing. And I feel as though if that were to happen, there'd be nothing I want more in this world than for people to donate in his name to prevent this from happening anymore and to make some good out of something horrible. Like when something horrible happens and catastrophic, I think the only thing that really helps is doing good out of it, making some good out of it. And that's why people create
Absolutely.
foundations that have like the name of the person they lost or something like that.
Mhm.
So I just can't imagine it. And I really feel what these people are talking about. And I think this is something we should all very much support. And look at how joyous they are.
Like,
because they're
really.
doing
Oh my
good.
gosh, this
Like,
picture is so
You
fun.
couldn't find a better group of people. Like, they're just
Not
Oh,
even
they're
in
just
Tehachapi,
gems.
California?
not even.
Whoa.
I don't know, maybe. Really?
Probably
No.
not.
No.
It's like
Well,
a
no.
desert town. There's like 6
Yeah.
people in the whole town.
And Jonathan Frakes had mentioned during the thing, Juan Carlos Coto was one of the highest, like the top 3 earners in the nation, not just
Wow.
teams, in the nation.
That's incredible.
This nation?
This nation. Yeah.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, there's some stiff competition out there. That's not a small feat.
I think
Absolutely.
I think that's outstanding.
Mhm.
He was the dark horse that just showed up last year and took over. It's beautiful.
That's right.
Right.
All right. So we'd love to keep talking about this because we're like in the afterglow of those wonderful people, but we've got some news to discuss. Oh, hello.
Chop chop.
That's what
To it. Let's get serious.
That's what Robert
is how he
Picardo said
sounds.
to me when I first met him.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I said, let's see if well, I'll try to remember the exact quote, but what had happened was I was working in a restaurant in Studio City across the street from
Love that.
CBS Radford Studios.
Uh-huh.
So we'd always get all these people coming in for lunch, that a lot of people. Slash, the guitarist of Guns N' Roses.
That's
Nice.
so cool.
That's awesome.
Some of the best tippers were people like Drew Carey.
Mhm.
Amazing,
Oh.
amazing
Yeah,
guy.
he's got a really good reputation.
Oprah,
yeah.
good person.
Good.
A
Nice.
lot of big people, a lot of big names. A lot of Star Trek people. Jolene Blaylock, LeVar Burton was super nice. Anyway, so
Aw.
one day, Patrick Stewart was terrible. I'm just kidding. I never met him. I'm not that cool. But one day, Robert Picardo walks in with Bill Nye and Ed Begley Jr.
What?
Like this triad of
combo.
superhumans
Whoa.
of making the world a greater place.
Mhm.
Walked in and sat down at a table, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, look, it's Bill Nye. It's Bill. Oh, look, he's with Ed Begley." And I was like, no, it's Robert Picardo. Look at them. And they're like, who? Or fucking the EMH doctor, bro. But I left him alone. I pulled up my big boy pants and I left them alone. I just got their iced tea and their pot pies and whatever I did as a server with a job I hated. And as they were
They're
leaving,
pot pies.
one by one, I said goodbye to them. Oh, bye, see you later. And then Mr. Picardo was the last one. I think I said something like really flirty. I don't know. Maybe flirty, maybe creepy. I think I said, "And you, sir, I hope you have a really good day," or something stupid. I was dumb. I was trying to be cool.
Yeah.
But he like stopped and wasn't used to being, it seems like he wasn't as used to being recognized as the other two. So he went, "Oh, hello. Thank you." And he just kind of walked off kind of like, kind of happy, but kind of confused. Like, who is this weird guy? And is he following me? And he just left. Anyway, it was very nice though. Very pleasant.
Aw, when you said pull up my big boy pants, that gave such a great visual because I imagined you pulling up your big boy
I pull them up
pants.
to my nipples.
Nice.
They're nipple covers.
Mhm.
For this show, you might need
Pull
it
up my
actually. Anyway, some overalls or something.
Yeah.
The point is, everybody relax.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
just
Mhm.
take a breather. So this is from a website called trekmovie.com. Big news.
Ooh.
Big news.
Ooh.
Robert Picardo on how the Doctor is deeper in Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Melissa Longo, can you please tell us what's the deal with this rad article?
Well, yeah, actually, I thought it would be a good idea because he has a pretty long quote that Lori put in the article that was really great, but it's
can read it.
amazing.
Here it is.
Okay.
Lori Ulster of Trek Movie, of course. Quote, "He started with nothing. The Doctor had an extraordinary arc over the 7 years, and brick by brick, building a character that was quite human-like from something that had no personality or affect at the start. This much has been said in the press about the show. Starfleet Academy is set in the far distant future in the 32nd century. Starfleet, which basically fell apart in this future tragedy called The Burn has been reconstituted. And this is the first entering class at Starfleet Academy in more than 100 years. Wow, that's really cool. And my character is teaching there. And I think that, frankly, at least according to our producer, who we both know well, Alex Kurtzman, he said that seeing the Doctor teach cadets on Prodigy, his exact words, that it made complete sense that he would be teaching cadets in Starfleet Academy in the future. So I really do think that my stint on Prodigy helped that door.
Helped open that door.
Helped open
Oh,
that
sorry.
Helped that
open that
door.
I was picturing him being on set, and how they have two PAs like opening the doors when he walks out, like, and help that. And he starts walking, someone goes, door, and two people just open the door. Because that was the magic of TV, how they did that. Did I miss anything, Melissa?
Does that continue?
Well, there's another quote down below. It's longer.
Oh, come on.
We love a long quote.
Yeah, but I just love how Robert Picardo
Bacardi.
Bacardi loves the EMH and how his journey with the EMH character has had a wonderful arc itself.
Yeah.
In that he didn't want to be the EMH doctor. He wanted to be Neelix. And he had initially turned down reading for the EMH.
Wow.
In order to read for Neelix. But they really wanted him for the doctor. And wonderful. It's great that they did, because he's done a wonderful job with that role.
Yeah. And what a strange squirrely Neelix he would have been too. Like I'm just thinking of like how that would have worked. I feel like he would have been like Neelix, but like with edges,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think he would have been a really cute Neelix, but definitely a different flavor of Neelix, that's for sure.
Definitely a different flavor of Neelix.
I wonder if he would have almost been, and I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but it usually does. I wonder if he would have been taken slightly more seriously as a Neelix. Like Neelix, played by Ethan Phillips, he kind of played it a little comedically, a little silly.
Like that his Neelix would have been taken more seriously.
Yeah,
maybe.
just a little, because as the writers and as time progresses, they kind of adjust to the actor. And
Yeah.
I wonder if he would have been just a more serious Neelix, like Captain, like rather than the, I can't do a Neelix impression. I don't know what he sounds like, but I just wonder about that.
Yeah,
Certainly
like
would have been
like Ethan Phillips's Neelix has like golden retriever energy.
Yes.
And I feel
Yes.
like Picardo's Neelix would not have had that.
Would
It
have
would
been
have
a
been like
cat.
Yes, exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody in the live chat, let us know, what kind of animal do you think? Oh, that's too hard. I don't even know how that sentence ends. Pick an actor that portrayed somebody in Star Trek, and if they played Neelix, what kind of animal would they be? Like
This is such a good question.
Ethan Phillips was a golden retriever kind of Neelix. Robert Picardo would have been an orange cat kind, or a long-haired cat kind of Neelix, right? So Jonathan Frakes would have been like a bison kind of Neelix or something. I don't know. Maybe that the juice isn't worth the squeeze there, but that sounded fun. Okay.
A bear? A bear Neelix?
Banger?
A bear, but like a nice bear. But a little bit like lumbery. Like lumbers.
But
Yeah.
I see Jonathan Frakes as Neelix as kind of like the Cheshire cat.
Whoa. Good one.
You're very good at this.
Yeah, your Neelix.
Thank you.
Your Neelix thoughts are on
I
point.
love this.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to do another. Okay. Who else?
Jolene
Come on.
Blaylock.
Ooh.
She'd be cat-like too, but she'd be like a sphinx, like a Like a long,
Yeah.
sophisticated, elegant, like a serval.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. Not a cervix, a serval.
Melissa, what's a what do I know that.
You don't?
Wait, what?
Everybody should know that.
I think everybody does. Jenny.
I don't think everybody does is the problem.
I've pet a serval before.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
They're
Very
so
cute.
pretty, and I love
Everybody
their
wants to pet a
ears.
serval.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess I'll read
Keep
this,
thinking about this.
quote.
I also really enjoyed how Jonathan Frakes kept thinking about what episode it was.
I love that guy.
that. Yes.
He's a true Trekkie.
That was great.
You know, he called me out on the
That's great.
seventh rule. He said, "So are you a Trekkie or a Trekker?" And I had to tell him the truth. I said, "I'm actually a Star Trek dork. I don't identify as a Trekkie or a Trekker." And I think he looked at me like I was an idiot. He's probably right, but you know, that's how it went.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the quote.
What?
Bob Picardo says, "That was another thing I
Live
thought about
chat is
deeply.
wild. Sorry.
How is he different? What does it mean to be a 900-year-old continuously activated artificial intelligence? What is 900 years of digital memory? Digital memory is not like human memory. If we have a memory from 5, 6, 8 years old and looking back decades of that memory, it's not like having a memory of something that happened a year ago or yesterday. Its digital memory is completely clear, which means that a beloved colleague like Captain Janeway, for the Doctor, you are present in his memory 900 years on, as when he was working with you in the 24th century,
That's
right?
so interesting.
It's crystal
That's
clear.
So cool.
Yeah.
He continues, so what does that mean? What does that do to a consciousness? It's seeing 36 generations of organic colleagues, Melissa, colleagues grow old and die around you. It does not necessarily predispose you to making close personal relationships. Let's put it that way. So there's a lot of stuff to think about that's a little mind-bending. And that's what's wonderful about science fiction to begin with. You have to ask questions that are huge extensions of the questions you have in a single human life. You have to project out and use your imagination. It's well beyond the human experience. And that's both challenging, but also what makes science fiction fun, you know? Really fun. Okay, is this guy like a genius? What's going on? I can barely read that sentence. He's too smart.
Yes.
I mean, it's really interesting because that makes me think about Doctor Who I know you love, but because Doctor
we were
Who
having
is
such a great show.
Bear with me here. Doctor Who is centuries now, many centuries old, and has a sort of similar experience where he's like had these close relationships, and then he moves on, and they're long in the past. But it's different because, I mean, it's not different because he's not human, but you know what I mean? Like it's a different.
It's different.
It's a different thing because the Doctor can recall in that way. That's so interesting.
I think the different thing with the Doctor and Doctor Who as well is that because he is a time traveler, he can go back and visit some of his old friends. So those memories don't get as degraded as someone who has to live a linear life.
Yes, exactly. So interesting.
So Arg Scott says Garrett Wong as a Chihuahua. Who else? Diana Moldar would be a raccoon Neelix. Interesting. Because she didn't take enough naps, I guess.
And she's like a little bit like this and also a little bit crabby.
Yeah. Michael Dorn, a bear type of Neelix. Yes, Melissa.
Dr. Beverly Crusher would be a fox.
Ooh. Yeah.
I can see that.
I think
she's elegant.
Yeah.
Clever.
Clever. Yeah.
Do you think a Brent Spiner Neelix would have been
goofy?
Yeah, right?
He would have he would have played it funny. He's a
Yeah.
very, very good comedic actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's
will
just a
go,
funny guy. Like
he
he's
commits.
yeah,
He
yeah.
will go all the way. And if they say they want a goofy, silly, whatever it is, he's like,
Mhm.
I'll take it to 11. Watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think about like, coming out of the turbo lift in The Naked Now, that kind of like
I
like
was
that.
picturing that
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or him on Night Court, very funny.
Yes.
He commits.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
funny. Yes. Yeah. I think Worf would be a pouty bear,
Hmm.
Neelix.
Hmm.
Worf. I mean, not Worf.
Dorn.
Dorn. I'm
Dorn.
thinking Dorf.
Scott Bakula would be
Ooh.
an Alf kind of Neelix.
An
Oh
elf?
boy.
An elf.
Oh!
That's
An elf Neelix hybrid.
Well, yeah. Because they like cats. Isn't
Oh my
or
God.
they hate cats.
That's
Well,
incredible. That is
Alf
incredible.
likes to eat cats.
Yeah, Alf does like to eat
Out of
cats.
love. That's
No.
Of their
different.
flavor, yes.
Out of the love of Herbert says Colomini would be a lynx type of Neelix. Wow,
Ooh.
interesting.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Okay. So that's really good stuff for Robert Picardo. Really excited. I mean, it seems like such a perfect fit. Oh, and this was on Trek Talks, by the way, as mentioned
nice.
previously.
Right.
So that's
Right.
really cool, making news there.
Yeah.
We made a little news about 30 minutes ago on this show. If anybody was paying attention. If anybody was paying attention,
Yes.
we made a little news here. We'll see if
Yeah.
anybody caught it.
Little news.
Did we?
did.
Did we make news? What news did we
We
make?
did. My ears perked up
Yeah,
when he said it.
I did
was
the opposite.
like,
Oh.
wait, what?
I started panicking.
Was that the August thing? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I know, I was like-
whatever. Hey, we don't, hey.
You can't help it.
Hey.
Things
Okay.
just pop out.
Speaking of popping out, here's something that pops out.
Whoa.
If there's a dude
Sorry.
in Star Trek that has something that popped right out of the middle of him. It's not Riker, everybody.
Whoa.
Oh,
It's an arm and a leg.
It's Eric's.
Eric.
Ooh.
We love that
Eric's.
dude. So why is
Yay.
Eric's in the news? Well, he kind of is and he kind of isn't.
Hmm.
However, oh man, I'm so happy. Hey, by the way, it's tax day, isn't it? Happy tax
Ew.
day. I don't know.
It's
I didn't-
over.
Melissa, you finished yours yesterday.
Kind of.
I finished mine
Kind of.
yesterday too. And let me
Mhm.
tell you, not a fan. Not a
Me neither.
fan.
No.
But I did
Anyway.
learn a lot.
I unlearned things. Like it made
Mhm.
there's so much information that
Yeah.
I lost.
Yeah, every
knowledge.
year when I file, I stopped because I finally got an accountant, but I
Oh,
would like
that's
forget.
nice.
I would just forget. It'd be like, where does
Mhm.
this go? I don't know where I put it last year.
You know why I don't use somebody to do my taxes
Mhm.
for me? Is because I feel like I'm still doing them. Like if you go to
Mhm.
somebody, you're still gathering the paperwork. And then
Yeah.
they go, what's
Yeah.
this? Did you do this?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm still doing it. The only
Yeah.
difference is I guess
Mhm.
that they're doing it correctly.
That's
That's the only difference
Yeah.
I could think of.
Yeah. But yeah,
Anyway.
I'm lucky because because I'm like a sole proprietor, at least for last year. So
You
I
own
get
people's souls.
No, I'm a soul, as in like I'm the only guy.
Oh,
so
SOLE, like
so
the fish.
because it's a business thing, like normally it would be March 30th, but I don't have to file till the end of June because of that for some reason.
Nice.
So I'm like,
That's great.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry about that live chat. We'll just call it
Sorry,
the
just a little
Ides-
tax talk, guys.
talk about it. Call it the Ides of April from now on.
Yes.
Okay. But the good news about
Well
Eric's
said.
on our favorite website, StarTrek.com, because
No, pop-ups.
oh, I love the way you guys did that completely differently and made it feel like no, I do. It made it seem like awesome, more fun that way. Jenny leaned in and was like, no pop-ups with a little disdain. And Melissa was like, no pop-up. That was good stuff. Okay. StarTrek.com, we love you. Don't ever change unless you want to change by writing more articles than one every 3 days. Okay. Peace and the Idosian Way. Meet the species living on the edge of the Milky Way galaxy.
Oceans.
Because we saw an Idosian in the trailer for season 3 of Strange New Worlds, right? So that's why they're kind of in the news.
Indeed.
And we also saw one in Lower Decks, season 4, I think.
Yeah. And I think we don't know a whole lot about them. Like, we don't.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Often...
It's got a gizzard. I hope that's a gizzard. Who knows? We don't know how sex organs work in other aliens.
Wow.
I didn't realize that gizzards were a part of the old reproductive system there.
You never know. I mean, look, there's all kinds of nooks and crannies. I don't know. Who knows? You never know.
That's where he keeps his gum.
Yeah.
Mints.
All right. Physiology. We know the physiology. They have 3 arms, 3 legs, 3 nostrils. One of those is not true. But there's a Star Wars alien that has 3 eyes. That's kind of cool. What's that one called? They're like I feel like they're an MA too, kind of like Mandalorian too.
I can't remember.
Somebody in the live chat remind us, what is the alien called? The really cool alien. It's got the snout, mouth, and the 3 things.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it sounds like something I drew.
Like in Mos Eisley? Is that what I'm thinking? In the cantina? Yeah. Right? Right?
Gizzards.
It's called well, I'll just show you the alien first, and then we can talk about what they are.
I love all the Star Wars alien names. They're so hilarious.
It's called a Mahonic.
Yeah.
A Mahonic.
Let's see it. Oh, that guy, the cow guy. Yeah.
I did not draw that guy.
I've been calling that guy the cow guy since forever.
Yeah, kind of cow mouthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun eyeballs.
His teeth do kind of look vegetarian.
Yeah, his little bovine schnoz. Yeah, exactly. It's more of a donkey sort of. Nice.
The point is,
but the
everybody.
one looked like a cow.
Yeah.
The other one looked like.
Oh, right, these guys.
The point is.
What is the purpose of a gizzard?
Well, we'll find out maybe.
Nice.
One of our planets is missing. I'm not sure what's going on there. Idosians are a tripodal species with 3 legs, 3 arms, and 3 digits on each hand and foot. Their skin is orange with bony features underneath their clothing. Idosians have an extremely long life cycle. That's interesting. By cycle, do they mean life?
Span.
Yeah. Homeworld, Idos. Wait. Oh, the Edo. That was the TNG guys. Idos is a planet in the Triangulum. All right, enough with the 3. We get it. Constellation on the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. It serves as a jumping off point for science teams studying the great energy barrier beyond the rim. It is home to plant life such as the Idosian orchid and sea life, including the Idosian suckerfish. I'm going to get you, suckerfish.
Suckerfish.
But 3 is the best number.
That's an old movie.
I'm gonna get
Mud's
you,
Passion. Oh, those are the episodes. I get it.
Yes.
Culture. Idosians are a peaceful species. Having never engaged in a war, they worship many gods. All beings on Idos are equal. There are no social castes or class levels.
Nice.
They just all hang out and
Me too.
pray.
If you want to.
I think I'd be
If you
bored
want
there.
to.
if
That's
you
true.
want to.
Yeah.
Here's a baby one, looks like. That's a baby
Yeah.
Kirk.
Oh yeah.
Baby Uhura, baby Spock, baby Sulu, grandpa whatever. Uh,
Hmm.
Due to their long life cycles, Idosians are often limit families to just one child. I think the only way their species can survive is 2.2, right? So if a lot of them only have one, then they got to have somebody out there that's doing like 1 million.
They gotta, but they live for a really long time. But you're right. 2.2, is it really?
Yeah, I believe it's 2.2 to keep any kind of community or species going.
Hmm.
Well,
But that's like
humans are doing way overdoing it.
Not certain parts, like certainly not in Europe. In Europe, they're like at like 1.9, 1.7, so they're dying out. Europe will be dead soon. Fuck,
Yeah.
they'll be
but
done.
they're
Actually, the United
overcompensating
States
in
too,
other
I don't think is
parts.
even doing
the
2.2. I think we're not either. So, but we're
Hmm.
killing ourselves anyway. We don't need to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Back to good stuff.
Well, maybe because the Earth is flat, it'll flip over because of the imbalance
Exactly.
on the Earth's surface.
It's gonna get too heavy.
Maybe we're just on the
so we'll
head
go like-
side of Earth.
Maybe.
The question is, when it flips, do we all just get tossed off into space?
Well, that's what gravity's for, right? Nobody
Flat
ever
earthers,
said gravity.
Flat earthers don't believe in gravity. If I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
If I remember correctly, they actually make fun of, what do they call us? Globers, for believing in, like, they go like, oh, globers are like, but gravity. I'm like, yeah, but gravity though, for real.
Okay, no, I can't justify this at all.
Well, yeah, that's the point. They're
No.
wrong. Yeah. But it's just really funny how,
They're wrong.
I mean, whatever. Look, I just think that one thing that I really want to happen before I die in a month is that
Don't say
we
that.
all
No.
donate a ton
Don't
of money
ever say that.
to make, I know, I was just kidding. We all donate a ton of money to create a reality show where 7 of the most prominent flat earthers are taken to the edge of the world, and we document it with a camera crew, and we follow them to the edge of the world, however
to
many
the ice
episodes,
wall.
however many episodes it takes. And then whatever they want to do, when they want to pee over the edge, do they just want to go hello, whatever it is, we document this, because then some of them inevitably will start to have their world crumbling down, and they'll start rethinking things, and they'll short circuit. But then others will continue to have these mental gymnastics. Oh no, you know what, we're not on the right edge. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's over there. It could go on for 1,000 episodes.
But I don't understand how they explain the sun and the moon.
They have explanations, but
they do.
They're not
doing
based in
science in their own way. They're like,
Yes.
they have these, they just create their own science-ish.
I just don't pay attention to them, so I'm like,
best not.
Are you kidding? It's
Best not.
fascinating.
It's a frustrating rabbit hole to go
It's
down.
adorable.
not adorable.
It's a bit upsetting, quite honestly, because you're just like,
It's so mind-blowing.
I mean, as long as they're not hurting anybody, and if they provide a really good TV show, I think it would be I think it would be
so
like
the TV show would
ripping.
be fun.
It would be amazing.
Well, because it's like a huge, giant April Fool's joke in a TV
It's a social experiment.
it would be a social experiment.
Yeah.
As a reality TV fan, I am on board with this plan.
We will say, and we'll all be like, dude, bro, you're right. Let's do it. Let's go to the end. Why hasn't anybody done this? What's going on? We'll bring heavy
Kyrie,
coats.
what's his face, a flat earther?
Who?
Who?
Kyrie, what's his?
Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard
Who
as
is that?
much. He's a
He's a
basketball
basketball player.
and I really hate how good he is, honestly. I don't like
Oh.
that he's really good, but I believe he is. I have heard that, yes.
I think
He
that's
also
very
he also
interesting.
thinks that Denmark is a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's classic.
I'm just kidding, but
This
he
is so
probably
fun.
does. I don't know. Who knows?
This is so fun. Humans
Anyway.
are fascinating. They're
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
they're a
let's
little bit nuts. Anyway.
speaking of nuts, let's finish off on Eric's, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh,
which-
by the way, gizzards are where the chickens and actually it's not just birds. Also, I think like alligators have them, and there's some other animals that have them. But then they like eat little rocks and things, and then they keep them in their gizzards, and it helps break down foods. And
It's
apparently,
like a fanny
eating,
pack.
yeah, but apparently eating a gizzard is like a delicacy in some places. But you have to
Yeah.
you have to clean it out when you cook it because it's full of rocks.
Everything is a delicacy somewhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my mom used to serve gizzard. Like she
Lucky.
served all of the parts of the bird. But
Waste not, want not.
ugh.
Wait, don't you
And then
not wait?
liver.
No, wait.
Disgusting.
That's not. No, you're thinking of a different word that sounds like gizzards. What's that other word? Like that you're thinking of like the organs, right?
Yeah, but
Giblets.
they were always.
Giblets.
Oh, it is the giblets. I think they were called
There's so many
gizzards.
words in this wacky language. It's amazing.
So many different
Giblets.
words for different kinds of meat too, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
meat. There's a whole bunch.
You know,
Ugh.
we're almost out of time, everybody. So read
Oh,
the rest
damn.
of that StarTrek.com article on your own and enjoy tax talk and gizzard talk. But we also have
We just give them homework and talk about whatever we want. That
another
doesn't
piece
seem right.
of news. No, we start them off. They're like on a
Yes.
sailboat, and we push them in the and they,
Mhm.
Or we're planting the seeds and they can
Exactly.
okay.
Look how I have Armin just tucked in there. I like that. Look at him.
grow. He's so cute.
I
So
just really
nice.
hope the live chat likes my idea for that show because I think it's going to be
Mhm.
incredible.
It's a fun show.
You should pitch it.
Lucia Raz says, "Why are you talking about flat Earth?" Well, that's a funny question from someone on the other side of the Earth. She's on the
Wait
tails
now.
side.
That's
She's
not
in
how that
Brazil.
works.
And what about the astronauts who've been in space and seen the Earth and its roundness?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so here's
Yes.
okay, this is what we're gonna do. We got a treat for you guys. Here we go.
Ooh.
To answer your question, I just typed in flat Earth. It
Yeah.
looks like okay, so no, they don't think that Brazil is on the other side of the coin, like
Mm-mm.
I just said. Everything, well, it's like a pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just has the crust here of the pizza. And so we want to take them on a boat to where the crust is thinnest, right? Like
Right.
right here,
Mhm.
so that they could look on the edge and they could throw like a penny over
Yeah.
and watch it fall down through space. And look, there's
But
kind
it's
of like
the
a
great
dirt
ice wall. It's really
bottom.
big.
That's okay. We'll get helicopters.
Is that what's keeping the water in? Because I was like, what keeps the water from spilling
Ice
over
wall,
the edge?
baby.
We'll get a helicopter, or we could put them in an airplane where they're looking, they see Brazil, they're going through
Mhm.
Argentina, Patagonia, right on the Strait of Magellan, I think that is. And then they go like that, and then they go, and then all of a sudden, whoa, how'd they end up in Australia all of a sudden? How did that?
Yeah.
See,
But-
that's
But we have astronauts who have taken pictures of.
don't even get started on the
fake.
astronauts. That's a whole.
They're fake. Believe me,
Anyway,
I can barely
it's
handle
1969
hearing about
Photoshop.
it. Yes.
Anyway, but we have to move on. This is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
The
Oh my
point
gosh,
is,
we have to send them over to the Sci-Fi Sisters.
yes,
Oh.
the point is, you guys, very, very, very quickly, is happy birthday to In the Pale Moonlight. You are 27 years old,
Wow.
and we hardly knew ye. What a great time. I'm glad they chose this picture. Of course, they had to choose
Yeah.
that iconic
Yeah.
picture.
Mm-hmm.
Also, very quickly, so that's, man, I wish we had more time to talk about that. That's a great
I know.
episode.
It is a great episode.
Lastly, oh man, but there's so much good stuff here. Check
Can we
this
talk
out.
about some of it
Melissa's
on
like,
Friday?
Melissa's like, I know, dude. It's all great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did it while I was doing taxes too. So
Oh my God.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You guys should have put me in charge of this week. Good grief.
It's all right.
Our taxes? Cool.
No, not that. That's
Oh.
crazy
Yeah.
talk.
Take a look at my taxes.
Remember that song,
I'd
Take
have-
a Look at My Girlfriend? Who is that?
Yes. I don't know.
Because she's the only one I got.
It's not Foreigner, is it? No.
No. It's more recent. It's like Fall Out Boy or something.
What?
I never seem to
Really?
get a lot. Who
Hang
is
on.
that? Melissa, Google it for us, please.
Take a look at
Screenrant.com.
my girlfriend.
Girlfriend, because she's the only
Mhm.
one I got.
Yeah, take a look at my I have to sing it.
Supertramp.
while I type it in.
No. Well, maybe they
Yes.
did it originally.
Yeah, they did it originally.
Look at my girlfriend. Song by Gym Class Heroes.
Gym Class Heroes. How do we forget that name?
I
Anyway,
don't know.
So, screenrant.com, paying tribute, forgotten victim Hutch. What?
Hutch.
Oh yeah, it's a new IDW comic book issue
Right.
that is kind of celebrating Hutch.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I love that.
Yes.
Screenrant.com, Star Trek is paying tribute to one of the show's forgotten victims after 32 years. Yeah, by Sean Horley. So check this out, everybody. What does it say? Spoilers? That's hilarious. Oh, for season 5
Yeah.
of Lower Decks. I thought it was of
Yeah.
like, I thought it was like of the Next Generation episode, Starship Mine. So that's really cool. He is easily my favorite character ever because he's the most charismatic and charming,
Yep.
brilliant philosopher,
Yep.
conversationalist.
Oof.
Oh, what a guy. What a guy.
Mhm. Social battery like you wouldn't believe.
You mean like the charging kind of battery, right? Like the kind,
Yeah.
like not like,
Like
Yeah, no.
Energizer Bunny battery.
Yeah, exactly.
so that's really cool. Read that article, everybody, on your own time. And
That
then
song's stuck in
For
my head.
homework, I want you
Okay,
guys
yeah,
to
we'll-
Take a look at
read.
my girlfriend.
Star Trek and Black Mirror. You're right, Melissa. Let's talk about that on Friday. That's a good one for Friday.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. it
No?
you
is.
should watch it before then.
I do want to
9
watch it before
'Cause I
then.
haven't watched it yet. That seems like a good
yes.
goal.
Wait, the USS Callister episode? You guys haven't seen it?
I've seen the first one, but I haven't
No.
seen the new one.
Oh,
Not
is it
the
out
new one.
already?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it?
It is out.
Oh, Piss and Vinegar. No. Is it really?
Uh-oh.
It is out. I was going to include some articles maybe last week
Mm.
about it, but I didn't because I didn't want spoilers. Because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Let's see if we get
What's
it.
it?
Watched.
Are you, so it just came out? No. Oh my God. It was 2017?
That's when the first one came
When
out.
the first one came out.
It's been 7 years?
I know, it's weird.
And
A
and they
lot's
did it-
happened.
It took 7 years to make a second episode of that? They
A
should've done
lot's
it.
happened
They
since
should.
then.
It's still like
living in a time vortex.
It really
Nothing
is.
makes sense.
I mean, how many
it
episodes have
does
they
not.
made since then? They should have bumped one for this.
Not many. Did they make was there one season after that, or was that the last season before this? No,
British
there must
shows
have been another.
have
oh, I
like
know, yeah.
3 episode seasons. It's
Mhm.
weird. I don't get it. But they're really
they
good.
never skimp on character development
Oh,
or
they're so good.
relationship or
Exactly.
storytelling.
Yeah.
Never ever do they.
Yep. They've got this thing where they just hire good writers,
That's a
you know?
Weird sentence.
It's really
But I
good.
liked it. Liked it. All right. Live chat, is that episode out? And if so, what is it, like an HBO thing? What is it? Do I have to get like some weird British?
Lucia Rass says I've watched is amazing.
Oh, cool.
Oh
Awesome.
my graciousness.
Excellent.
What do we watch it on?
Netflix.
Oh,
Really?
right. Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of that one.
Thank
I
you
thought it was
for
gonna be on,
reminding me
like,
of that.
I thought it was gonna be on like Crumpet TV or something that I'd have to download or something.
Netflix.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the week ahead, everybody, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Yesterday on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we released our full review of Hero Worship. There goes my hero worship.
I like the double combs at the same time too, you know? It's like was that a choice that Brent made, or was it like that, like was he directed to use two combs, you know?
Well,
Actually-
I think it was supposed to be the awkwardness of an android brushing a kid's hair, because would he know how
Right.
to do that?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, he wouldn't know how to do that.
I always thought that he like was doing it the way that he would do his own hair, but then I was also thinking, do you always use two combs to do your hair?
No, that's so weird.
No.
In which case, did Nooney and Soong teach him to do that?
Or maybe he's thinking efficiency. He can cover
Right,
more
yeah.
ground with two combs.
Anyway, it's one of yeah.
Yes.
Truly amazing.
I just can't believe how great you guys make this show every week. It's amazing. Yeah. I was just thinking about the two of you kind of going like this and doing that. And I was like, man, they are so cool and fun to watch. You guys at home are in for such a treat. I'm too busy like clicking things and stuff. I don't get to actually watch them do stuff. You guys are spoiled. This is good stuff.
That's nice.
This is good stuff. Well worth the price of admission. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
All right. So it was hero worship. Oh yeah, that's right. We just went over that. Pretend I didn't say that. Don't get back into the.
I completely derailed that. I'm sorry.
No, that's what we do here. Then on Friday, come right back to this channel, the Virtual TrekCon channel, for Star Trek and Chill, where we chill and we talk about Star Trek and other stuff. We have a beverage. Katie tries some Pringles or something. We have a good time. Everything is cool. We Star Trek and chill. Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live right here on the Virtual TrekCon YouTube channel. Then on Sunday, whoa, 420, bro.
Wow.
420, bro. So on 420, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, when you think of 420, what do you think of? That's right, ethics. The episode Ethics from Star Trek The Next Generation, that will be our first segment review on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. That great episode, Ethics, that everybody loves. This 420, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel. What happened? Why did you guys get so flustered?
Yeah.
What is that?
Melissa went
That
fuzzy.
Flemish? Yeah.
I went fuzzy and then
Okay. And then, and then Monday, whatever, more Star Trek talk. It's going to be a great time, everybody. But remember,
More Star Trek talk.
oh,
we should
sorry,
have more
Sci-Fi
cleavage.
Sisters, right?
Sorry.
You nailed it. Sci-Fi Sisters, everybody in the live chat, let them know if you guys want to see cleavage on Star Trek and Chill.
Nice.
That Melissa suggested, not me. Sci-Fi Sisters, go check them out right now. Go to the Sci-Fi Sisters YouTube channel. Jump on that. And tomorrow, donate. Your stuff is worth double tomorrow. Pancan.org. We'll see you next time. Oh, Melissa, where can people find you online quickly?
At walkingartmadebybelisa.com. Sign up for my newsletter, please. Sign up for my newsletter, please. That's
Wait,
all I'm
yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
What about you, Jenny R. Johnson?
Wait,
you
what?
can. Oh, sorry.
What? Huh?
Sorry. What? What?
Huh?
You can find me at jennyrjohnson.com. You can also find me on social media at jennyrjohnsonart. And on Thursday night, I'm going live with two guys I used to work at Eastside Mario's with. They were kitchen guys. I worked on the floor. And we're doing a review of The Warriors live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Whoa.
Wait, what? Review
Wait,
of the
the
Warriors?
movie?
The movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They're playing in like 15 minutes.
I know.
This
It's
is
going to be
great.
crazy. I know.
You were working
Did
on
you
the
know
floor? What does that even mean?
That
Um,
Aaron loved that movie.
Oh,
watch.
really? I get to
Awesome
watch it
movie.
tomorrow night. I
Loved
haven't
it.
watched it in years. I'm super excited.
I only watched it once, and it was like 15 years ago. I went my whole life without knowing it existed, and then when I saw like the memes and this, and I was like, I must see it.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a Warriors fan.
Can
Ryan
you
TG Husk
dig it?
at Ryan TG Husk, or just virtual Trek on the Seventh Rule, or Falling Tower on your favorite social media, but especially right here on YouTube. We'll see you next time, everybody. Go to the Sci-Fi Sisters thing and tell them we said hello.
Yeah.
Okay, Virtual
Absolutely.
TrekCon says hello.
And sorry for keeping you all so long.
We love you.
Everything's fine. See you next time. When you want to talk about John Billingsley and company and have those really good vibes and fuzzy
Right?
feelings, put it on the main viewer.
I put hashtag PanCan in the comments. So they knew that you were
Pancan.org
here.
/Team Trek.
In the
No,
comments
but-
below, please
Mhm.
please type hashtag PanCan, or as War Dog Heim says, pound PanCan.
Yeah.
Yeah.